but let's look at something very, very important. Well, would you look at that? This study has been funded by Kellogg USA. So you're telling me, Kellogg, that if I don't eat your breakfast cereal, I'm gonna get fat. Woo! Hi honeys, it's Emmy. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Emmy and I am the go-to nutritionist for weight loss on a plant-based diet. I am also the creator of the Slim on Starch program where my clients lose anywhere from 5 to 70 pounds. So in this video, you are going to learn the top mistake that I see people make when it comes to the breakfast is the most important meal of the day philosophy, where the saying and belief actually comes from, whether or not it's true, and what you should do in terms of eating breakfast. Should you do it if you want to lose weight? We're going to be talking about all of that. Also, make sure that you subscribe and click the notification bell so that you can be a healthy honey and be notified every time I'm dishing out the freshest weight loss advice. First, what I want us to do is rethink the term breakfast. Some people say, oh, I eat breakfast. Other people say, I don't eat breakfast. Everybody eats breakfast. Breakfast is breaking our fast. It's the first meal that we have after sleeping, and for some people they have it at 7 a.m. and for some people they have it at noon. But in both events, it is breakfast because we are just breaking our fast from the night before. Because we have heard that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, we've transformed that into breakfast must be eaten the moment that you wake up, the moment that that sun is up, or else your metabolism is going to slow down. Everybody eats breakfast, but we've gotten into this idea that we have to eat our first meal of the day. We have to break our fast very early, right when we wake up to get that metabolism going. But is there truth behind this? I actually surveyed the clients in my program and I asked them, hey, when do you eat your first meal of the day? When do you break your fast? And there was a whole slew of answers. And my most successful clients, there was no correlation between the success that they've had in their weight loss and what time they're eating breakfast. One of my clients, Sarah, who has lost 70 pounds in the program, eats her first meal of the day at 5 a.m. And then there's my client, Autumn, who came to me and she said, Emmy, I just got to lose the last 5 or 10 pounds. And she actually got to the point where she said, Emmy, I'm losing too much weight. I need to stop. How do I make this stop? And she doesn't eat her first meal of the day until noon. So both of these clients have had massive success. One of them's eating breakfast at 5 a.m. and the other one is eating breakfast at noon. And I'm curious, leave a comment for what time you eat your first meal of the day. Let me know. The biggest mistake that I see is eating breakfast out of habit because people feel as though they should because of this idea that breakfast is the most important meal of the day and we have to get our metabolism going right when we wake up. When I ask people who aren't even clients of mine, they're just interested in healthy living and they ask about breakfast being the most important meal, I ask them, are you eating because it's time to eat and you should eat and you always have eaten at this time? Or are you eating in response to true biological hunger? Do you feel that sense of hunger and you're responding to that? Or are you responding to what time it is on the clock, what somebody's saying on social media that you should do, or some rule that you read in a magazine? And more often than not, people are eating because it is just part of their routine, it's what they've always done, but they're not eating because their body is saying to them, hey, I need some food, which is what healthy, lean animals do, is they eat when their body says, I think I could usually use a little bit of food right now, as opposed to it's 7 a.m., it's time for me to eat to get my metabolism going. So where does this idea actually come from? The idea that we have to eat breakfast because it is the most important meal of the day. And what it really stems from is a desire to make money, honey. That's right, money, honey. Here's a study that was published called The Effect of Breakfast Type on Total Daily Energy Intake, aka how many calories you eat, and Body Mass Index, aka how much do you weigh for your height. Results from the 3rd National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. Sounds legit. So what did this survey find? Well, it found that the analysis provides evidence that skipping breakfast is not an effective way to manage weight. AKA, you don't eat breakfast, you're gonna get fat. That's basically what this study is saying. And it is in a published journal, it looks very official and very trustworthy. But let's look at something very important. Well, would you look at that? this study has been funded by Kellogg USA. So you're telling me, Kellogg, that if I don't eat your breakfast cereal, I'm gonna get fat. The fallout from this has been so confusing for consumers because you'll find tons and tons of research that supports, yeah, you gotta eat breakfast or you're gonna gain weight. And then you'll find tons and tons of research that says it doesn't matter what time you eat your breakfast, whether it's 7 a.m. or noon, you'll lose weight either way. I mean, look here, we see while it seems breakfast is the most important meal of the day, it might actually be dinner. And then there was a randomized trial in which skipping breakfast said that it disrupted circadian rhythms and it led to larger blood spikes in our sugar levels, and then we would subsequently eat more. So what are we supposed to believe? There is all of this research that points to, yes, you should eat breakfast, no, you shouldn't eat breakfast. What the heck should you do? Well, let's look at what's really going on here when people are eating breakfast early in the day. In one US study that analyzed the health data of 50,000 people over 7 years, researchers found that those who made breakfast the largest meal of the day were more likely to have a lower body mass index than those who ate a large lunch or dinner. But here's the kicker. The researchers argued that breakfast helps increase satiety, reduce calorie intake, and improve the quality of our diet. Okay, so it's not the fact that people are eating breakfast at 7 a.m., but it's the fact that they are eating foods that increase their satiety, keep them from eating too many calories, and have them have a healthy diet overall. So is it really the fact that we're eating breakfast, or is it the fact that we're eating foods that make us feel full, we're not eating too many of them, and they are nice, nutritious, healthy foods? I would say that the magic doesn't lie in breakfast, but the magic lies in having healthy habits that allow you to have a diet that keeps your weight at the weight that you want it to be at. It is not breakfast itself that is allowing people to stay at a lower BMI or kickstarting their metabolism or making them these crazy fat burning machines. It's the actual content of the diet and the habits around the content of the diet. These people aren't overeating, they're eating foods that make them feel full, and they're eating until they're comfortably full, and they're eating high quality foods. That's really all that it is. And we often find that those who skip breakfast are those that are out of routine and don't have a workout routine and aren't going grocery shopping for healthy foods. And because they're not eating breakfast, they tend to be the type of people that will drive through the drive-thru after work and get the easiest thing. Those are the things that are causing the weight gain and preventing the weight loss. It's not the magic in eating at 7 a.m. It's just what you're eating. So what should you do? Should you eat breakfast or should you skip breakfast? What time should you start eating? Well, first and foremost, before we get into the nitty-gritty, what you need to do is reflect what those studies have said is what is going to make you lose weight. Reflect that in your own life, which, as we've said, are eating foods that make you feel full, not eating too many calories, and eating an overall healthy diet. And wouldn't you know, a whole foods plant-based diet is all of those things. It's naturally low in calories. The foods make you feel full, so you won't eat too many calories and you don't have to count calories, and it is highly, highly nutritious. So just by eating a whole foods plant-based diet, it doesn't matter what time you eat it. If you're eating it at 5 a.m. or at noon, just like my two clients showed, you're going to get the same results because you are nourishing your body with high quality foods that aren't too high in calories and they make you feel full. And that really is the key to weight loss. And you might be wondering, well, what foods are those? What foods should I be eating so that I can get these benefits and not worry about what time I should be eating? And I actually have a free grocery list that is separated by parts of the grocery store. It's super easy to follow, and that is in the down bar. All you gotta do is click the link in the description so that you can get a free weight loss grocery list for plant-based weight loss, and you'll be on your way to weight loss town and way far away from what time should I be eating this stuff. So make sure to click the link in the down bar if you want to know what foods those are. What I also want you to do is to trust your body's natural hunger and fullness signals, and have your first meal when you start to feel that true biological hunger and a need for food. And this is something that we work on in my program, and we give you a hunger and fullness scale from 0 to 10, and you'll start to learn at which points in the day you like to be at certain points of hunger, and you're able to truly feel that biological hunger so that you aren't going from 0 to 10, I'm starving, or I am just like past the brim full. And you're not eating just in response to what your watch says. You're eating because your body truly says that you're feeling hungry. So that's the second thing that I would urge you to do, is to really, really listen to your body and listen to that hunger and fullness scale. Now, for some people, they will say, when I always have my breakfast planned, I lose weight. So eating breakfast makes you lose weight. But let's look at correlation and not causation. It's not eating breakfast itself, but it's the fact that probably when you're like, when I eat breakfast and I have my routine in place, I'm losing weight. That's because you have your routine in place. And if you've planned out all of your breakfasts, you're probably planning out nice, nutritious, healthy breakfasts. Another benefit of eating breakfast is that it prevents people from having a binge later on. So if you usually don't eat breakfast and then you end up just getting wicked hungry and ordering Uber Eats or going through the drive-thru, doing something that is not going to promote weight loss, then it would make sense that you would want to build into your routine making sure that you make breakfast. But remember, the core of all of this is not the magic in eating breakfast itself, but it's the fact that it is aligned with healthy lifestyle habits and nutritious eating that promotes weight loss. And that's actually aligned with what we do in my program. Is we not only teach you what it is that you have to eat, but we have Coach Kiki, our mindset coach, who works with you around the habits that you have around food. So if you find that you're planning all of these healthy breakfasts, but you're still engaging in habits that aren't promoting weight loss, like overeating or having your meals planned but still calling up Domino's or Uber Eats, that is something that we talk about as well. It's not just in what you eat at what time. There's so much more to weight loss that we have to consider. And following these one-off rules, like make sure you eat breakfast, is not going to lead us to lifelong health, longevity, and weight loss. We want to focus on the big picture and realize that it's not just the food, but it's your mind too, and the habits that you have around food. Make sure to give this video a like if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then that's okay, you can give it a thumbs down. But make sure to share it with somebody that you think would enjoy it or benefit from it. And I can't wait to hear from you guys about what time you eat breakfast in the comments. Bye.